ekta motawa beef intestine degree kura laga opor de bishi manu khan bra itu laga opor de bishi comments kan digina isha ro public laga dimag te ekta misconception ja opor aji August 9 de senior medical officer Dimapur district hospital laga doctor Hotoka ra ekta press briefing aro clarification dibule sa wi tarbai tu inaga misconception jalaga opor de aro August 7 laga incident de public khan gi bi ekta clarification dibole mun jai se bishe jaigina detail bat to clarification to huni sabo.
Today we have gathered here to mainly clarify the viral video about that person non-local who had a syringe in the bag which had the beef innards. So I am not the person to investigate on what is going on, but as a HIV expert and HIV treating physician, just want to clarify through this platform to the public who have been given lots of misinformation regarding this viral video. So in my opinion, the syringe which was there, it's not for HIV treatment. When it comes to HIV treatment, it's all in tablet forms. There's no injections or even, for that matter, even syrups. So it is not for HIV use, but it might have been used for other purpose, which could be for injecting the drugs, which is still possible in many people, or it could have been misused for his own business. It could be a formalin which was used for his own business. So other than that, it is, and I don't think he would be injecting his own, blood to transmit to others. I don't think that is what has happened. But taking this opportunity, I want to inform the truth, the fact that HIV doesn't transmit just by injecting to the meat, in this case, and for those people who are worried that after consuming HIV infected blood, they could be getting infected. So that is a misconception, because HIV is a very fragile virus. It cannot survive outside in the environment, especially when it exposed to heat or light, especially in a scenario like Dimapur where it's humid and heat. HIV virus cannot survive for it becomes inactive once it's exposed outside the body. So in such scenario, HIV cannot cannot be infectious to others, especially even by consuming. For example, the pH level of the HIV to survive is very fragile. So there's no way that HIV will spread to others through consumption of such meat. That's why that is not to be worried. But HIV as such, as we are discussing, HIV doesn't survive outside the body for too long. It will become inactive and it will become non-infectious. So just by sharing the same toilet, for example, sharing the same swimming pool, for example, sharing the same gym like sweat for such guys, it doesn't spread. Yes, HIV can be infectious through needles, especially sharing the infected needles by injecting drug users. Otherwise, if there was a HIV infected needle and then it can be infectious to others if there's a direct injury, which we call it needle prick injuries. But the survival of the virus, if it is there in the needle for long time, like more than an hour or so, then it becomes inactive because it is exposed. So there's still a chance when there's an injection Unfortunately, in the last few years, HIV is on the rise along with hepatitis C, also because of increase of HIV through IV drug use. So people should be careful, especially the young people. We are seeing between 15 to 35 years, there's an increased trend of using IV drug use, and that has increased the percentage of HIV detection through IV route to around 8% in and around Dimapur. Previously,
a year, a month.
in the last few years, maybe a couple, I would say 2 to 3 years. Previously, the percentage of IV has reduced, to 1%.
1%.
Yeah, but now it has crossed 8%. If we say the last 1 year status,
That's for Dimapur.
yeah, for
The
Dimapur,
district or including Jammu and Newland?
that includes Jammu and Newland.
Undivided Dimapur.
Yeah, undivided, united Dimapur. So the percentage is high through IV use in the last 1 year. There is only, when it comes to HIV transmission or HIV infection, there's only 4 routes of HIV transmission, nothing else. And the most common, especially among the young people, is by unprotected sexual intercourse with a HIV infected partner. When HIV is, HIV is not suspected, it's a STD, it's an STI, but it cannot be seen like another STIs or STDs. We can never make out by looks that a person is having a STI of HIV. Maybe when there is a related STIs, then there could be some doubt. That is why HIV is in the general population now, and it is not possible to differentiate that HIV as another STI. And therefore, around 92% is getting HIV through unprotected sex. And that is the most common. That we include that for even MSM, men who have sex with men, or heterosexual route of transmission. And that is the most common. The second, as we have said, the trend is increasing, is HIV transmission through IV drug use, injecting drug use. So sharing the infected needles or through needle prick injuries, that is the second cause or risk factor of HIV transmission. The third is by blood transfusion. Blood transfusion of infected blood, HIV infected blood. That could be the possibility, but fortunately all bloods are screened before transfusions, and doctors are very careful in order to advise blood transfusion unless it is needed. And so, but there's still a risk when people are not careful and just get the blood transfusion without screening. The fourth and the last route of transmission is mother to child. When a mother is infected with HIV and is pregnant and not on treatment, then HIV can be transmitted from mother to child during pregnancy, during delivery of the child, and during breastfeeding. Unfortunately, in Nagaland stands as the highest HIV prevalence among the ANC, antenatal checkups, in India. We are at the top state. Whereas when it comes to general population, we are at the second top prevalence, HIV prevalence state in India. But taking this opportunity, I want to say the good news that HIV is preventable, especially when it comes to mother to child. If a mother is on ART, antiretroviral therapy, and is virally suppressed, there's a blood test to detect how much the virus is there in the body of the particular person. So when a mother is virally suppressed on ART regularly, then there is negligible chance of transmission to the child, to the unborn child, during pregnancy, during delivery, as well as during breastfeeding. So that is the good news. And also, if a patient is on ART regularly, lifelong, it's a lifelong therapy. So a person, HIV positive person, is able to live a normal, healthy life and can maintain HIV suppressed, virally suppressed life, which means technically a person who is on treatment cannot transmit the infection to others, to her loved one, to her partners. So that is the benefit which we call U equal to U. When undetectable viral load, when a patient is on ART responsibly, then he or she will not transmit the virus to another person, which is called untransmissible. So U equal to U. That is the benefit of treatment, and the treatment, his treatment becomes a prevention or preventive tool to others. And that way the transmission is controlled even in community.
Utu din beef la kota kwado wa taila galti bi ase series paise.
Hoy.
Pili bi tai ke bisi bakto ida media de expose hoye je. Ita tai test kora positive ase. So according to you inaga patient kan HIV taha na expose kora to kini ka ase dila patient expose koi jalo tai na face.
See, ekta khota to tai nijor hi tai to HIV positive ase koi dishe. Yes, it's always better to, blur the face. That is part of the, media laws. But idu situation de to tai ko tate, stigma na lagi kena tai nijor tai to ase koi dishe. We don't know what is his reason. And itu nishina hi manu HIV garni to ishi dangor chinta na korile bi bhal ase, because it's a manageable disease. Or itu treatment thik loile to itu garni to chinta nai. But the other thing is other people, it affects in general other people. So itu garni inaka, when it comes to HIV, apni on social media de olebi alag platform kande itu to para tok to inaka openly tangala face to na dekha he bal ase.
Sir, again, he was negligently endangering the lives of others, if I can say that. So is there any laws or...
See, of course, there is a law, HIV Act. There's already an Act, 2017, right? Act. So under that law, if a person is intentionally transmitting the HIV to others, then he or she will be imprisoned. There's a particular, under penal code, there's particular laws, the punishments are there, so it will be there. But in this case, I don't think he was trying to do that. That's what I feel.
Okay, how was he brought here? Who brought him to you?
No, he was never brought to me. He was never brought here. And what I've heard is that he is detected HIV positive, but what I heard is already on treatment from our neighboring state.
Okay, he was not brought here.
Yeah. He is not registered here. He is not our patient.
Consuming meat and meat products that has been contaminated or injected with HIV infected blood or whatever, there is no danger of transmission, like our doctor has said, Hotoka has said. So just in case, if it is true that his intention was to spread the illness or the infection, I would like to say that there's no possibility, no chance that it will be transmitted by consuming meat and meat products that has been contaminated with HIV. However, we should be more concerned about parasitic infections, protozoal and bacterial infections. So the concerned authority and the general public in general should be more concerned and cautious about how meat and meat products are handled in the marketplace. and at home also. Because a lot of hype about the transmission has been heard, but then it is next to impossible to acquire HIV infection through consuming food and food products that has been, meat that has been intentionally or unintentionally being infected with the virus.
See, ANC HIV percentage is a hallmark for knowing the status among the community. So basically HIV is in the community. It's not only among the high risk groups like drug users or sex workers. But when ANC percentage is high, it proves that it's in the community, and community has to be aware that, especially that HIV is there in the community, and everyone has to be careful, because the only, as we have said, the only routes of transmission is the 4 routes. So if one can take care of these 4 routes of transmission, then definitely HIV will be controlled in the community. The other day you were saying that when you came for the HIV testing, ICTC was closed. I just want to clarify that there was a change of manpower. The medical officer got transferred, and the new medical officer came, and they were having a meeting in the other room. So otherwise the services are available. I would also take this opportunity to say that when it comes to HIV treatment, the facilities in Dimapur are available, and from testing, to HIV testing to confirmation of HIV, plus the HIV treatment, the first line treatment, the second line treatment, the third line treatment, and also all the other facilities like CD4 blood, CD4 count test, HIV viral load test. These are all the benefits that a person who is infected with HIV can avail free of cost at our center. So people, those who are positive, should be on treatment, because the facilities are available. And as I've said earlier, if a patient is on treatment regularly, then the patient is able to live a normal life. But there are many patients who have many excuses of not being on treatment, maybe because of negligence, their own not having that motivation to live a healthy life, or for some financial reasons not able to come to the treatment center. And so many people are also not on treatment. Therefore, it is through this platform I want to convey that be on treatment, because if you are on treatment, you can live a healthy life and a long life.
Our department have been organizing every year various awareness among the youth, and even in villages or colonies, even in schools. But we see in the videos, in the comments and all, we see still many people have lots of misconceptions about the infections. So here we see that when a person is not well informed about the infections, now our doctor clearly mentions about how it is infected, but we see in the comment sections, we see still many people have lots of misconception about what is HIV and AIDS. And still when there is misconceptions, when people are not well informed, there is misconceptions. And when there is misconceptions, the stigma and discrimination arises. And due to the stigma and discriminations, again, people hide their status. We see, we have hardly many people who just stand in public and sharing or revealing their status that they are HIV positive. So when a person hide their status, there is a rise of infections. So we still need to do a lot of infections, but our department alone cannot do this awareness alone to spread the informations. So I would like to request even any organizations or student body, colonies or villages, if they could organize this awareness camp, or can come to us so that we can also collaborate together and organize an awareness campaign.
Mula nam to mo ase aru moi TNP to ki ase gole to Dimapur network people living with PL HIV na HIV handa itu port member ekta Dimapur di recently 2024 July 28 te elect kurina itu select kurina ekta port khulina ase de itu port ki khulishi gole to Dimapur di kuman positive khan ase tahan ki side bole china tahana legal rights khan scheme khan government khana itu ki ai adan ani problem ekta fasi she itu han kurine side bo kurine itu port khulina ase to yate moi ko mun jai thaka to Dimapur kuman positive khan ase itu network to jani na thaki dibe itu network to kina holibi bisari na IDB kuna kilometer Dimapur sabi man poila bra PL HIV han ki kori goli to discrimination bishi dagise stigma bishi dagise na to itu stigma discrimination kurine bishi manuhan do life de aigina service bi logoli mun na thaka ujise HIV mahan positive ase kuna tai nuchu bi jani de holibi ART de aigina tai tawai logole treatment logole sorom lage manuhan ba discriminate kori kuna na higina bishi manu bi mori jisi da hanna holibi moi de ko mun jai thaka do itu han do uku no hoy da do na samanu bi accept kori dibi kili mahan bi itu HIV do lugu mun jai na loa no hoy itu for roots pa lagi jala ase to itu kurine uku discrimination itu face kori libi uku ne to la health to important ase to la gaw to important ase kuna janai di ase aru item han china rumors to min jai ase itu mangsu do khai gina mohan pi lagi uni ki inana misconcept ekta jai ase na itu misconcept to moram bra apni until unless HIV to ki ase na jani shuli to itu rumors ne phelai dibi na misconcept ne phelai dibi kuna koi tu mun jai ase kil mane ita for example tate chun manu itu non nokola hat per mangsu khai gina thaka itu han do ita kina trauma ekta de thaki ujina ase aya moi bi mangsu khini na khai gina ase moi bi HIV lagi shini ki movie in fact hina sne ki gune na feel kuri thaibo tahan ki jena rati bi no khomena tension ba bui thaibo pare holi mo tahan ki janai di bu mun jai ha do ina uku no hoy chida mahana doctor ba kuise itu roots to itu jara ba lagi na HIV do na to itu kurine apni han bu ku tension no libi uku jinda no kuribi aru mahan ita itu person ke man starting ba do ending tak tahan no ko di mahan bi follow up kuri dagi shi police kan gi bi chena huta huti kuri dagi she holibi itu syringe to HIV la syringe ne doctor ba ko anisina kilmi HIV la dawai do khali tablets ai itu tablets to rati de ekta khai itu ase aru taiki mahan sagina jado tai laga kuntu kalti kam kurise jina like ekta khala de hygiene maintain nokurna unhygienic kuri dia do itu police kan ba ki action la ase mahan ta dibe ani support kuri lo ta hangina kilmine mahana friend ase mahana community ase gona mahan ta gi support nokuru itu de to itu janai dibo gona apni hanke matala ase ajiate mahan itu kile media hanke apni hanke matina mahan itu kile ko ase gole itu misconcept to jai rakha do na please ba itu stop kuri dole aru HIV do pal ba details janu mun jai gole do mahana expert doctor khana ase ART khana na doctor khana ase aru google kuri shulbi apni net tv bishi sabo pabo itu ni moram ba apni hanke mahana dear naga peoples kan gina oku itu misconcept moram ba rokhai dibi rumors rokhai dibi gona itu kuri ni mati dia lase thank you so much apni hana idea kuri ni
तो viewers अपनी senior medical officer Dr. Hotoka clarification tia upper de clearly jani she man viewers khan gi be ekta jani bole dibo mun jai se that idu jun the misconception jai se in regard to August 7 incident laga upper de Dr. Babha clarification di she aro ta jani bole dia do idu HIV virus kan do doesn't survive for long aro ina mangsu khawra do in fact no hoy koina bi ta jani bole di she aro ta ekta yede viewers khan ke jani bole dia do HIV transmission laga charter routes ase kinaga gona manu khan ke infect kure koigina tabra jani bole di she aro first route ase that unprotected sexual intercourse with HIV infected person mane HIV thaga manu khan logode unprotected sexual intercourse thagi shugule tatiba HIV like you bole chances ase gusha aro second route of HIV transmission ase through IV drug use HIV thaga manu khan ba IV jola dami ami khan ba utu same IV do jola shi kunile needle prick ring ami khan utu jola shule tatiba like you bole chances ase gushe third route ase blood transfusion of infected people HIV thaga khan laga blood khan judi by mistake pra kinaga kunna luishe gule do tadiba lagyo pare. And the fourth and the last reason is mother to child. Ekta infected HIV positive amabra judi bacha ke pregnancy time de nuhilibi delivery time de nuhilibi breastfeeding time de amado judi HIV infected person thagisho gule do tadiba lage gunabi ide doctor Hotoka wa bhalba clarification dishe to itu charta ase ki HIV kina kan infect kura ami khan manu khan ba public khan ba bishi HIV thaka laga upor de nulibi tu incident laga upor de bishi misconception aro bishi charja chai daga homoy ami khan aji laga du media briefing aro clarification laga upor de ami khan la viewers khan ki bi bhalba jane uli dishe dugara ami khan public khan ba hubi HIV do kina kana lagi idu khani bhalba jane gina comments kan hulbi marule tahan babi appeal gurna se ki mohan na jani gina ki tai do HIV manu ase tai laga itu hat pai naga khaili do lagibo inala eku nai guna tahan ba bhalba clarification dishe aro chundu August 7 laga incident ase that ekta non local motawa beef innards pigri kura laga upor de aro viewers khan ge ekta jane dibo that udu syringe HIV laga tai laga itu syringe no hoy to kumba formally nulibi tai laga personal use nimide hi hobo na korna jane bole dicha aro jodi odu mota do water ba jani na bi HIV thagina manu ki lagai dibole laga intention de naga thagi ase gule do tahan 2017 laga HIV act pe ase tade according to the law punish kurbo na bi jane bole dicha aro itu laga upor de bi police kan ba tahan cases kan kina kan lugina jaise tahan bi follow up kure ase guna jane bole dishe to viewers kan ge itu he kubo that August 7 laga incident upor de ami hanman panic rule nai because the senior medical officer ba bhal ba du misconception chalaga upor de clarification dia nishna aro kwa nishna HIV transmit kuru kane do khali charda roots ase age de kwa nishna to viewers kan ba kiman jon idu video saise apni khani mon de bhui na khabi that idu mangso khaishe gule do ena lagibo na eku nai because we have already confronted the doctor or Dr. Babi bhalba ami hange jane bole dishe itia karne mani for more news and updates keep watching Global Window.
Emporium Nagaland is India's premier aviation, hospitality and cruise line training and international job placement consultancy. Trained and blessed over 20,000 youths from Nagaland in prestigious international brands. The only institute in Nagaland that hosts top airlines, cruise and 5-star hotel campus interviews. The first institute to conduct international cruise campus interview in Northeast. We are open to students of class 10 and above. Emporium provides 100% placement assistance, empowering educated unemployed youths with global opportunities.